Reach for tomorrow. Today belongs to the past. The golden hopes of your yesterdays can all be yours at last. Reach for tomorrow and keep your head in the sky. You may get hurt in 1,000 ways, but give it one more try.
I'm Andrea Joyce, and tonight, the city of Paris provides a beautiful stage for the latest dramas in the ISU Grand Prix of figure skating. Act 1, the best pairs team in Russia in a rematch with the best pairs team in North America. Act 2, a homecoming for the world champions in ice dancing. From the Eiffel Tower to you, it's all about to begin right here on Lifetime. The pairs short program was a rude introduction to Trophee Lalique. The young Chinese team of King Peng and Jean Tung took a frightening fall. Fortunately, she was not hurt. The Polish team saw its hopes end here. Her fall in the short program took them out of contention. The French fared no better. Only this time, it was his fall.
It's really difficult to be good every time. Sometimes you need to have how do you say, a kick in your butt. Maybe it's bad now for better in a few days.
The Russians took the ice. But he doubled his triple jump. Could anyone get through this program? Yes, Jamie Salé and David Peltier. They beat the Russians at Skate Canada and beat them here in the first phase of Trophée Lalique. And what about the Americans? Yoko Ina and John Zimmerman left ghosts in this building a year ago. With a chance to win, they folded and lost much more than one event.
Well, we have a long time in January to do absolutely nothing.
Their failure at Trophée Lalique cost them a spot in the Grand Prix final, so there was something extra to prove this year. And they did. They conquered this short program.
We know we're capable of keeping up with everyone else, and we just have to have that confidence and put it together and show everyone that, yes, we do this all the time.
The judges still want to see more. The American champions were held down to third behind the Canadians and the Russians, but they can win here if they can win the free skate. The Russians are looking ahead, looking to even the score with the only team that's beaten them this year. Can Jamie Salé and her partner David Peltier score a third gold medal this season? We're getting set for the pairs free skate here in Paris, so let's go to my colleague, Terry Gannon.
All right, Andrea, thank you. This is a critical free skate coming up for the American champions, Ina and Zimmerman. Not only are they still trying to regain some of the credibility that they lost last year here in Paris, but also if they finish in the top two here at Trophée Lalique, they have a realistic chance then to move on to the Grand Prix final, which takes place in mid-February in Tokyo. It will not be easy, though. This is a loaded field here in Paris. Take a look. the gold medalists from all 4 of the previous Grand Prix events. Saleh and Peltier won the first 2. Abitbol and Bernadisse won in Germany. Now they're at home here in Paris. And Berezhnaya and Sikorodlidze, they won at home just a week ago at the Cup of Russia, their best performance in over a year. So as we turn now to Olympic silver medalist Peter Carruthers. Peter, this should be a heck of a free skate coming up. How do you see it?
Well, really, all of these pairs are at the top of their game right now. Saleh and Peltier from Canada have a lot of momentum going in their favor. And trust me, the Russians are sitting up and taking notice in a sport that they've dominated for so long. As for Berezhnaya and Sikorodlidze, they have just come off of a great performance at Cup of Russia where they brought the house down, and they're really on a roll. Then the Americans, Ina and Zimmerman, they skated a very good short program, and their coach, Tamara Mosvina, who also coaches the Russians, she said she would have had them in first place. So the Americans are skating very well. All of these pairs have a lot of quality. There's great depth, really the best that the sport has to offer.
And a look at the standings right now. The red-hot Canadian champions, Saleh and Peltier, in the lead over the Russians, Berezhnaya and Sikorodlidze. The Americans have an advantage tonight. They'll be the last team to take the ice, trying to hold off the French team, Abitbol and Bernadisse. And it is the home team taking the ice first. Not only are they the 7-time national champions of France, but they have steadily moved up the ranks the last 5 years. The reigning world bronze medalist, Sarah Abitbol and Stefan Bernadisse.
Skating to Tristan and Isolde.
But this is actually an original composition. Maxime Rodriguez did the music for this. The same theme that the Canadians will use, Saleh and Peltier, but different music.
With side-by-side triple toe loops. Very solid start. Tough single skills out of the way. And he steps forward on his double axel. Looking for a continuous edge coming out of that. Not a major error, though. Throw double axel. They have landed the throw triple, but they've never done it in competition. Split triple twist. Right up into the star lift. What makes this team so good is the great throws and lifts that they present.
Typically French, too. They're always interesting on the ice, whether they have a good night or a bad night. Sarah's 25 years of age, Stefan 26. She is from Nantes, he is from Bouillon, but they both live here in Paris with their parents. Brought together back in 1992 after a nationwide search by the French Federation to put together a solid pairs team. And they did.
Throw triple loop, and she didn't execute the landing. You have to get the arms out and have the left leg going back to stop the rotation. A little bit sluggish. This is called an adagio lift. You notice that he's not rotating the lift. That is allowed now in pairs figure skating. Spread eagle position for her. Now she'll flip forward. Typically we see one leg up, but that's an innovative choice for them. Not their best performance. Some small mistakes, but you can't have those mistakes when you're competing against the Russians and certainly the Canadians.
They've already won one event in the Grand Prix this season. They won this event last year here at home, but a bit of a surprise to see them all the way down in 4th place after the short program, trying to catch up in the free skate. And with the mistakes that you just mentioned, I'm not sure that they did. Sarah Abipol, Stefan Bernadis, the crowd, though, obviously still loves them.
And this is where there were some problems. Watch the double axles. They're rotating together, but he steps forward, and you can see that that interrupted the flowing edge that should be at the end, the way you saw right there. And this is the throw triple loop. She gets up into the air nicely, but still sluggish on the landing, not anticipating enough to have a nice continuous edge. As I mentioned earlier, typically we see the man rotating underneath the lady. That is, both people are turning. But here, this is just a carry lift.
And here are their marks now. The first set for technical merit in the 5.4 to 5.6 range.
Well, you can see with these marks that definitely those small little mistakes added up to a lower 5.4.
And now the second set for presentation, Peter.
And the presentation, the composition of the program, very good. So seeing up to 5.7, good for them.
So we'll see how that holds up through the rest of the night. The final group takes the ice next. All the medals at stake when we come back to Trophee Lalique. Welcome back, everybody, to Paris. Trophee Lalique continues with the final group of pairs on the ice, warming up, about to settle the gold medal. And you're looking now at the American champions. There's Kyoko Ina, John Zimmerman. They're in 3rd place at the moment. The Olympic silver medalists, Yelena Berezhnaya and Anton Sikirlidze from Russia, they're in 2nd. And the team that won the short program and has already won 2 gold medals this season, Jamie Salé and David Peltier. They're as charming off the ice as they are talented on it. Andrea Joyce has more.
We have a good time. He makes me laugh.
Look at this smile. That's like the 5.9 I get all the time. I enjoy seeing it because of her smile. But it's not only this. I think it's her passion for what she does. She loves to skate. Every time she gets on the ice, she's in a great mood.
We enjoy every day of skating, and he's very, very respectful of my feelings and how I am as a person as well.
I'm the one that worries all the time, and I think that's good. And she's the one that's, cool all the time, and I think that's good. See, you got the yin and the yang, the balance that I was talking about.
Yeah.
I'm very very lucky. I'm just very lucky to find Jamie. I think in pair skating, the girl is the most important part because I think 80% of the people look at the girl. The other 20 just look at my butt. Just kidding.
For a couple that is so close in spirit on the ice, what about their relationship off it?
We do spend a lot of time together in competition. But for the rest, I mean, it's stuff I don't even talk with my mom, so I don't feel the need to talk about it with the camera. Understood.
In a sport where teamwork takes years to develop, they've reached the top after less than 2 years together. Tonight, they go for their third gold medal of the Grand Prix season. Terry Gannon and Peter Crothers, let's go back to you.
All right, Andrea, thank you. They have captured the imagination of the figure skating world. There is no doubt about that. And to think back just over a year, they were not a factor at all when you thought about the top pairs teams in the world. But what they've been able to do is pretty much astonishing. And here they are in first place, heading into the free skate. Jamie Salé and David Peltier of Canada.
Music, Tristan and Isolde by Wagner. These two have great rapport with each other on the ice. They will open up with a triple loop, perfectly done. Look at how secure she was on the landing. Side by side, triple toe loops. And she flips out of hers. There's an opening. You can't make little mistakes like that when you've got Berezhnaya and Sikhorodse right behind you.
Well, they joked after the short program with the press how David told her when she had problems with one of her spins in the short, which she had last year at the World Championships, which happened to have been in Nice. He said, you know, the problem with you is you just can't spin in France. Got to get out of this country. But they feel very comfortable here. Not only are they from Canada, plenty of Canadian fans here, but David is from Quebec. His first language is French.
She was very solid on the first throw. Here's the triple Salchow, back inside edge takeoff. Nice. Such elegant choreography. All of this put together by choreographer Lori Nickel. Jamie told me that their program is never good enough for Lori. She's always pushing them artistically to be better. Side by side, double axels. And that is a fairly large error for her.
Maybe there is something about skating in France. the World Championships last year, where they had a chance to medal and dropped to 4th. It's a long season, isn't it? It's hard to be at the top of your game every time you go out.
But the thing is, with those little mistakes, the Russians have what I call a mistake factor. The Russians can make mistakes and still win. But it appears, or it has been over the past, that when North Americans get out there and make mistakes, we don't have that mistake factor built in. So with those mistakes, it certainly opens up the door for Beresnaya and Sikarulice and Ina and Zimmerman.
Yeah, don't forget about the Americans.
Right.
Ina and Zimmerman, although they've struggled this season, they were terrific in the short program. As you mentioned, their coach, Tamara Moskvina, coaches both of the next 2 teams and said they should have been in first place after the short. So it's a great opportunity for both of them. And it is Beresnaya and Sikarulice who will skate next. Why do you think that has been in terms of North America and Russia? The presentation marks, perhaps?
I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's the basic foundation that the Russians have. It's their stroking, the way they move on the ice. I know that sounds very abstract, but they have such a background in their culture with dance, and it always is evident when they're skating, and their power is so amazing. Here, the side-by-side triple toe loops, they wanted to have these to show their strong single skills, and she just flips forward, an awkward landing, not a fall though, so it could have been worse. And here's the double axel. She just doesn't get up in the air enough to really complete that. Hurt herself at Nations Cup last year on that jump, so she's maybe a little gun-shy here.
And the first set of marks for technical merit, 5.7s and a 5.8 from the Polish judge. Those may be better than we thought.
Yeah, you're right. They're very good. And they would have been higher had they not made the mistakes on the first set of marks. But more impressive is this right here. Look,
wow.
We're seeing 5.9s. The judges really appreciate their artistry. They are gaining in this area.
The French judge, the Canadian judge, 5.9s for presentation. So not only are Salé and Peltier in the lead right now, but that's an impressive lead. That's a solid lead. Those marks extremely high, and that was really kind of a disappointing performance for them when you compare it to what they've done this season. So now it comes down to the Russians. Remember, the Americans will be last to skate. Elena Beresnaya, Anton Sikarulice, and maybe more confident than they have been in a long, long time, because they are coming off that impressive win at Cup of Russia where they were terrific. In fact, you go back maybe a year or more, and it probably is their best performance, although they did win the European Championship last year. That was eventually stripped because of the positive drug test, the cold medicine that Elena took.
And I think that was actually very innocent on her part. But this program is from the motion picture City Lights, and it's, of course, based around Charlie Chaplin. Had trouble with the triple toe loops. Let's see if they can get through, and they do. muscles, and look at the flow that they have coming out, the real speed that these jumps have. That was a very poor landing. The judges don't want to see a collision. They want the lady to be caught and set down on the ice in a very smooth, soft way. Throw triple sow cow. Again, I can't believe the velocity she has coming out of those throws.
Well, if you're a judge, certainly two very different programs from which to choose, and it may come down to who makes less mistakes.
But this is really just wonderful. So lyrical and so in character. Watch her somersault up into this press lift. Now pay attention to the speed they still have at the end of their program. This, the big throw triple loop, she really needs this. And no, she doesn't get the left foot out and have a good landing. Wow, this is going to be very, very close. Remember the 5.9s we saw from Salé and Peltier. They know it's close because the Russians have had some problems in their performance. So
Canadians,
really,
they didn't miss a second of that either. They watched the entire thing glued to that monitor backstage. While the late mistake, if you were inclined to put Salé and Peltier first, the Russians gave you your opportunity. If you enjoyed this program more, I mean, both made at least one mistake, so it will come down to what the judges view perhaps for presentation marks. We'll see. We'll have the marks for Bereznaya and Sikaridliza as the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating continues from Paris here on Lifetime. Yelena Bereznaya, Anton Sikaridliza, Tamara Moskvina. Your guess is as good as theirs as to who the judges are going to pick right now.
They do want to improve this. The lift needs to be caught in a smoother way. Watch her slam into his body, and he doesn't really even catch her. And the bad news there is that was right in front of the judges, so they see weakness there. And here on the throw triple loop, she doesn't get her left foot up and out and back to stop the rotation. She breaks at the waist, and that's what causes the meltdown on that throw.
All right, what do you think? What do you go with?
Yeah, brother. Come
on.
Yeah.
All right, first set, 5.6 up to 5.8. Extremely close to what the Canadians received.
They both had mistakes, both teams.
Can't split them yet. Gotta wait for the second set now, and it will come down to these presentation marks. Remember, a couple of 5.9s for the Canadians. The rest, 5.8s. 5-7 to 5-9, and Bereznaya and Secret Lidze into the lead. 4-3, the split on the judging panel. 4 judges in favor of the Russians, 3 in favor of the Canadians. That's how close it was. So Bereznaya and Secret Lidze. And you see Jamie Salé, obviously, first bit of disappointment this season. Hasn't tasted that yet until this moment. But the Americans still to skate. Kyoko Ina, John Zimmerman, of course, also coached by Tamara Moskvina. So she's got another team to cheer for here. And they obviously have an opportunity to win in third place after the short program. A short program that has turned it around for them. A new outlook now. Remember all their problems a year ago at Trophee Lalique in the free skate. It really got them on the wrong path, and certainly in the eyes of the judges around the world. One final note, if they could win here, they would clinch a spot at the Grand Prix final.
They open with side-by-side triple toe loops. Skating really close together. Those were outstanding. Side-by-side double axles. And again, they are really on top of it here. Split triple twist lift, and that was much better than the Russian team. If they keep this up, who knows what can happen. Triple loop jump. A little bit of a touchdown there, leaning over. Have to keep the back straight. Have a good landing. very difficult for the man to hold that position while his partner is over his head. John showing great strength.
He's had a shoulder problem, too. He had surgery over the summer, and he said that's when it really hurts the most, in a lift. Taking anti-inflammatories for it, and has not used it as an excuse at all.
Kyoko squeaking out the throws, but leaning forward a little bit. That takes a lot of energy to have movement like that with the arms. And they are showing me that they have a lot more stamina than they have had in the past. It's a star lift. With one hand, she's not holding on. Great balance required. For them, a good performance. They're moving up for sure.
How much difference does a week make? Tomorrow, Moscovina leading the cheers at Salé and Peltier as well. Nice applause from the sidelines here. Now, certainly, we saw them win the U.S. Championship last season. They were terrific. But on the international stage against the best in the world, this was maybe the best we've seen. Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman. Can they edge out perhaps the Canadians for the silver medal? We'll come back and see in a moment. Reminder, next week, the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating moves to Japan, and all of us are going with it. The NHK Trophy short programs, you can catch those on ESPN Monday night. Then the pairs and dance finals right here on Lifetime, 1 week from tonight. And the series concludes with the men's and ladies finals on ABC Sports, Sunday, December 24th. Kyoko Ina, John Zimmerman, their coach tomorrow, Moscovina. They just took a very important step in terms of their career right here in Paris. We'll see what the judges think, though, in a moment.
Boy, did these look good. Beautiful rotation, and they're close together. That shows a lot of confidence in your partner to be that close on side-by-side jumps. The problem is, watch her back break, and she touches down right there. She's capable of doing much better. Kyoko is a very strong single skater. This is the throw triple Salchow, and again, sort of the same little breakdown. She goes forward, doesn't touch down, but still not her best there. And Tamara's like, stand up, come on, straight back.
Now their marks, technical merit marks. 5.6s and a couple of 5.7s, Peter.
Well, these marks are absolutely fine for them in terms of what they did do. They're going to be close.
Lower, though, than the other two. Yeah, absolutely. The other two teams in the 5.7, 5.8 range right in there.
5.7, 5.6, 5.6, 5.6. Pour la présentation. Marks for presentation. 5.7, 5.7.
So the presentation marks, 5.5 up to 5.8 from the Polish judge. Enough for third place.
Yeah, and you can't be too disappointed. They're still not on the level of Berezhnaya and Sikora or the Canadians.
That's a great event, though, for the American champions. Ina and Zimmerman capture the bronze medal here, but it's Berezhnaya and Sikora in the duel between the Russians and the Canadians. They win the gold medal here in Paris. And right now, let's go over and join Susie Wynn.
Thank you, Jerry. Congratulations to both of you. Congratulations on Cup of Russia and here. How have you kept the momentum going?
Oh, it's very difficult because it's a very emotional program, and after Cup of Russia, I was really empty inside, and it's very difficult was getting here.
Now, how do Salé and Peltier push you?
Well, they are very good skaters and great guys, and just it's like It's a good compete together because we are pushing each other, so it's like in the competition feels like cool.
It looks like you'll be pushing each other into the final and into the Olympics.
Yeah, I think
it'll be great. Congratulations. Enjoy.
Tonight, the Russians rose to the top and captured their second gold medal of this Grand Prix season. They edged the team from Canada that had beaten them earlier this year. And it was a proud night for the Americans, who will share the medal stand with friends and competitors.
I feel good, man. I think we finally can put it out on the ice, you know, the competition. We've been saying, you know, we practice really well. When we go out and do it on the ice, you know, things change a little bit. So I think we're finally starting to both understand each other's thought while we're out there competing. So it's starting to come together.
I deserve second today, and maybe even third. I don't know. It's not up to us, but I did not feel like we skated obviously our best today, and I'm not disappointed though, because we've had a great Grand Prix series so far, and you need to have these kind of skates, I think, to get it out of your system and to feel what it's like to skate every time. It's different. So on warm-up we felt really good. It was just sort of one of those programs where we were kind of stepping on each other and making kind of stupid mistakes, so it's all right.
They'll meet again at the Grand Prix final and the World Championships. Two of the best pairs skaters in the world, Yelena Berezhnaya and Jamie Salé. When we return, the world champions in ice dancing strut their stuff against anyone who dares to challenge. One gold medal to go tonight on Lifetime. Sometimes the best seat in the house is backstage. The ice dancers are getting ready at Trophee Lalique. Welcome back to Paris and the final event of the night. World champion Lalique-Pairs was among the first to arrive. The German team of Kathi Winkler and Renee Losa present and accounted for. The Russian team, husband and wife Irina Lobacheva and Ilya Averbuk, looking to pull a surprise tonight. The American champions, Naomi Lang and Peter Chernyshev, hoping to beat the Germans for a spot on the podium. Running late, the other half of the world champions, Marina Anasina. Good thing she's here, because there's a full house waiting. The free dance is coming up, so let's go back to Terry Gannon with U.S. Ice Dance champion Susie Wynn.
All right, Andrea, thank you very much. Well, as Dizzy Dean used to say, who'd have thunk it? Maybe it was Yogi Berra, I'm not sure, but it applies in this case as we look ahead to the free dance. Who would have thought, Susie, Marina Anasina and Lalique-Pairs, the reigning world champions, at home in France would be in second place after the original dance, and it's the Russians, Lobacheva and Averbuk, in first.
Well, it was kind of a surprise, but this phase, the second phase, the original dance, was really never their strength. At Skate Canada, Marina stumbled. Here at Trophee Lalique, Gwendal stumbled, and now they find themselves behind Lobacheva and Averbuk, who are ranked only 4th in the world. You'd think the world champions would be protected a little bit and forgiven for their peccadillo, but no way. In the free dance, they're going to have to skate well to get back to that top spot, but I suspect the French audience is going to push them a little bit, keep their energy level high.
Well, right now the standings look like this. Lobacheva and Averbuk in first. It is just odd to see Anasina and Pairs in second. Winkler and Losa of Germany in third, just ahead of the Americans, Lang and Chernyshev. And the free dance gets underway with one of the teams from right here in France, Isabelle Delobel and Olivier Schoenfelder. The second best team in this country, right behind Anasina and Payzera. We saw them at the World Championships last year, where they placed 11th. Right now they're in 5th after the original dance.
And they're skating to Vivre pour le meilleur, meaning live for the best by Johnny Holiday. Is 4 minutes in length. Hard elements are 5 to 7 lifts, 2 footwork sequences, twizzle sequences, and dance spins.
And Susie, different than the other disciplines, right, in that there is emphasis placed on required elements in the free dance as opposed to the men, the lady, and the pairs.
It's true. It's something new over the last couple of years to make ice dancing much easier to judge and to separate the teams. What's nice about this team is both of them are so capable. There's never a point where they're not doing something interesting and difficult. They're both moving. Specified lifts, a change of direction lift, showing 2 curves. Sequence and closed positions has to go from corner to corner. Extraordinary, very difficult. Well done, Terry. This has really improved since Nations Cup. This audience really pushed them, but they really cleaned up. A lot of the footwork made things much smoother.
At Nations Cup, they came in 5th, much better here. They live and train in Lyon, and not only compete against Anasina and Payzera, but they train alongside the world champions. They look like it tonight here in Paris.
They really have a fine time in lifts. Very secure. Both are very strong. Here, watch, she's on one foot. She in a split position. That requires strength and flexibility on both their parts. And here in the circular footwork, they're both very busy. Oftentimes, men are criticized for being on 2 feet, but boy, he's as busy as she is. They're investigating different edges, different turns. There's something happening at every moment. And one of the big highlights of the free dance was here, the last lift. Check this out. Look at the balance. He's in a spread eagle position. That's a lot of leverage. That can go wrong at any moment. And look at one hand. Beautiful flexibility through her leg. What a tremendous highlight.
Better be pretty good marks coming up for these people here in this arena. The awfully mad. Technical merit marks, 5.2 to 5.5.
These are some really nice marks. They really skated very well technically, very clean.
And now presentation 5.4 to 5.7. They're awfully happy. Isabelle Delabelle and Olivier Schoenfelder get things underway here in the free dance. But when we come back, the final group on the ice, the gold medal to be decided as Trophee Lalique continues here on Lifetime.
Jenny Kirk, another of the outstanding young group of American women on the figure skating scene. She goes for her first Grand Prix medal here at Trophee Lalique Sunday afternoon at 2 on ABC Sports. Congratulations to Isabelle Delabelle from twin sister Veronique, also an ice dancer. The #2 French team is currently #1 in the free dance here at Trophee Lalique. The world champions from France are on the ice right now warming up. So are the American champions Naomi Lang and Peter Chernyshev. A couple of days ago, we accompanied them to the Rodin Museum here in Paris. He's got some muscles. And found them in a thinking mood.
Basically, it's like a marriage because we're with each other so much, and you just have to deal with each other. But I think most of the time we enjoy skating.
I think marriage is better. You don't have to work with your spouse.
That's true. I would say our style of skating is more towards balletic style. We've been told our lines are very nice and...
Well, it's definitely not comical. It's more lyrical, dramatic style.
Yeah. I can't be sad when I'm in this pose.
You're going to be sad. Cool. I think you're in the mode of original dancer as well.
We're always hoping it's fun for the audience as well as for us. We just want to put on a good performance for everybody who's sitting in the crowd.
It doesn't happen that way every day on every practice, but when it clicks, we enjoy it.
He comes from St. Petersburg and the great tradition of Russian dance. And now they are in France, hoping their final pose tonight will include a medal.
It's this way.
They are in 4th place heading into this free dance, trailing the German team of Winkler and Lohse in the contest for the bronze medal. The other team looking to move up tonight is the French world champions Marina Anasina and Lalique-Pairs, who find themselves in 2nd place behind the Russian team of Irina Lobacheva and Ilya Averbuk. If the Russians can hold their placement, we will see a major upset here in the Grand Prix series. The skate order chosen by random draw within this final group, Winkler and Lohse, currently in 3rd place, will lead off. The Russian team will follow, so the judges will get a back-to-back look as Lobacheva and Averbuk try to hold off the world champions for the gold medal. And then the American team will skate last. We'll send it back to our team now, Terry Gannon and Susie Wynn.
Andrea, thank you. So a good opportunity for the Americans to close out this free dance strong a little bit later. And this is the team they're trying to bump out of 3rd place, Kathi Winkler and René Lohse from Germany.
The music is a collection of gospel songs, and the message is a message of hope after the story of struggling and suffering.
Now, Winkler and Losa are ahead of the Americans. They're in third place right now. They came in 6th in the world last season, and Lang and Chernyshев finished up 8th at the World Championships. But last year in a Grand Prix event, the Americans did upset the Germans.
The Germans are great performers. They're very sharp, clean. They enjoy that. Whereas Peter and Naomi have a lot more difficulty, and sometimes they hold back a little, so see what they do.
Both Kathi and Renee are from what was then East Germany, and Kathi Winkler from Chemnitz, the former Karl Marxstadt, and the hometown of Katharina Witt. The two are very close.
Now they skate with great speed, but a lot of the reasons for that is that they get a lot of what are called crossovers, stroking steps that get you speed. But the difficulty's not there. They don't skate as close as Lang and Chernyshев. They're certainly very, very polished. I think this was a nice skate. Like I said, they don't have the difficulty, but they certainly have the passion, and they're tremendous performers.
Kathi Winkler, Renee Losa. She is 26 years of age. He is 27, and trying to hold on at least to that third spot, surviving the challenge from the Americans, which will come a little bit later on tonight here in Paris.
You can see here, these are the crossovers I'm talking about. They get a lot of speed going into their elements. The change of direction lift. He's on one curve, changes to the next. This isn't the most difficult lift, but it's certainly very polished, very clean, and very precise. Now here in the footwork, it's just not that difficult. A lot of what are called three turns, very simple turns. They're not skating very close together. It looks nice, but it's just not hard.
So now the marks for technical merit. Mid-range, 5.4 to 5.6, Susan.
And it was a mid-range performance.
Do you like the program?
I like it. I just think it's a little lean in the area of the choreography. Just a little lean.
Second set now for presentation, 5.5 to 5.7. So we'll stick around and see if those hold up. Up next, the Russians trying to pull off a major upset. Lobacheva and Averbuk skate when we come back. Back in Paris for Trophee Lalique, but a reminder, next week, the final event of the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating here on Lifetime will be in northern Japan. Asahikawa, the site for the NHK Trophy. Pairs and dance finals, the end of the Grand Prix year for all the couples. 1 week from tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern. So here now, Irina Lobacheva and Ilya Averbuk of Russia. Last year, their worst year yet by their own admission. They're trying to stop that slide. This would be a major step. They're in first place after the original dance and trying to upset the world champions.
They're skating to a modern version, as you can tell, of box toccata and fugue. Difficult change of edge lift. Rotational lift has to turn 3 times and it goes right into a dance spin. That's very, very difficult to maintain the balance.
Irina and Ilya are a married couple. They are both from Moscow, but have lived for some time in the U.S. Live and train in Newark, Delaware, where they've been since 1994. And in terms of what they're trying to do to the French team, you add a little caveat to that. Ilya used to skate with Marina Anasina. Together they were 2-time world junior champions, but he fell in love with Irina Lobacheva. And they have been skating together ever since.
Love can do crazy things.
I guess.
And choreographically, they started off this program heavy on all of the highlight moves, all of the lifts. All 7 lifts are pretty much packed in that first half. Now they're getting into the footwork sequence, the circular footwork sequence. They're skating a lot in hand-to-hand position here, which is considered a little easier than some of the other dance holds. It's just easier to get speed when you're not skating as close. Some of the great teams of the past were able to get speed out of nowhere. Torval and Dean, Ponomarenko, Klimova, they could skate so close together, yet really maintain the flow. It's very hard
That hurts every time I look at that.
And it does. It does. This program is better than what they did last year. They were lost last year. They seem comfortable with this. A lot of posing, a lot of highlights, and less dancing, but it's better.
This would be a major step for them, though, to get back in the mix. They have been fourth at the World Championships the last 3 years and were just struggling last season. But now to maybe pull off an upset here in Paris, it would really get them back in the mix. Looking ahead to not only the World Championships, but the next Olympic Games, and they plan to stick around for those.
Now this change of edge lift is tricky because of the change of hold and position. Watch here, beautiful stretch up, beautiful extension overhead, and then the strength here to hold on the curve while she's changing during the transition. That's tricky. Now their diagonal footwork is a little separated. I like their fire and their energy and their flow, but it's just a little bit lean again. I'm just not seeing everybody skate tight and crisp.
All right, we'll see if the judges agree with you here. Technical merit marks 5.5 up to 5.8.
I think some of the low marks, some of the judges caught there was a little bit of a stumble from Ilya, and they posed a lot.
They posed a lot?
Posed a lot.
That's not good. Presentation marks 5.7 to 5.9. There is room at the top. Lobacheva and Averbuk in the lead, but can they hold off the reigning world champs from France? We'll find out when we come back.
The further we get into the season, the less predictable things seem to become. And that's not good news if you've already reached the top. Have you ever dreamed of being a world champion ice skater? What would it be like to be that famous? Well, you could write Lalique-Pairs and ask. Of course, you'd need his address, wouldn't you? Just writing his name on the envelope wouldn't work, or would it?
A lot of young people just give a shot and write to the French Federation.
Marina Anasina and Lalique-Pairs became world champions last March. Now they get a lot of questions looking ahead to the Olympics in Salt Lake City.
We are already thinking about next year program, but I think you have to be really in the present season and give yourself now. You know, future is future, now is now.
And I think we will think about Olympic years when it will be.
One step at a time, even if the steps are not what you'd expect. That's right, she lifts him.
I didn't do more preparation for that. I do like we work all the time. All preparation every year, because it's not very physically, it's more technique, and the speed in the ice, it's helped to lift.
It was among the moves that lifted both of them to the top of the world podium in front of a home crowd in Nice.
The reaction of public, it's very important, because the public is the best judge.
On the ice, they seem completely in sync with each other. Off the ice, well, that's a different story. Follow Gwendal only if you dare. He's getting lifted by yet another expert woman.
Rock climbing, not dangerous. Skating, dangerous.
I like before competition to be alone and concentrate.
But away from the ice, Marina can lose that concentration, and with it, her sense of timing.
Often I never have time to do. I'm always late, and I always never have time. I don't know why.
We had a much greater adventure with Marina than we did rock climbing with Gwendal. She took us to the U.S. consulate for her green card. Along the way, we met Okar, a French-speaking German shepherd.
We never saw a dog in the taxi.
We got lost in the streets of Paris. But we had a happy ending.
In the US embassy, one woman recognized me and she asked me the photo with my autograph. And after many people was to do same things because they was recognize me. So.
It's all part of the price of fame, which includes being asked all sorts of questions.
Will I ever cut my hair? Who knows?
Back to that letter we sent at the start of our story. The letter with no address. Did it get to Gwendal?
Merci.
Indeed, it did.
Voilà ta lettre. You said Gwendal Pesera, the skater, Lyon, France, and they put the rest. You could have put something inside. There's not even a word in your letter. Not even a word. Gosh, take it.
Sorry, Gwendal. We'll do better next time. Terry, back to you.
All right, Andrea, thank you. Well, if you send a letter to Santa at the North Pole, he gets it. It's the same thing as Gwendal in Lyon, France. Here they are, the reigning world champs at home in France, Marina Anasina and Gwendal Pesera.
The music from the soundtrack Beethoven's Last Night. Tough rotational lift because she exit coming out forward, which is harder to do because the toe pick can get in the way. This piece was choreographed by Christopher Dean and Ludmila Vlasova. They also had a little help from Tatiana Tarasova. A lot of cooks in the kitchen.
Torvill and Dean set such a standard in ice dance. Do you see the influence with them?
Last year I did, when Torvill and Dean choreographed their Carmina Burana free dance. I could really see the influence, and it really developed something special in them. This year, I just don't think they've captured the depth that they were reaching to last year. Is involved, a little bit of practice to make those move out well. Lack of unison in the set of twizzles and turns that you just saw. I really enjoy this couple. I think they're fiery and passionate, but I'm not sure I'm sensing that and feeling that from this program. Last year, like I said, it had such a direction, so pinpointed their drama, and I think they're missing the boat a little bit with this free dance.
Doesn't have the intensity, does it?
Not at all. And it could be the music, it could be the editing of the music. If I were their coach, I would really feel like, what do I need to do to bring out the best in this couple, because they're better than this.
Better than the last time we saw, though?
Yes, definitely. It's certainly a work in progress, and it's getting there, but I'm not sure if this is the right vehicle.
So maybe it will be there in time to defend their world title. We'll have to wait and see. Will it be enough to win here in Paris? We'll have to wait and see whether that is enough. Marina Anasina and Lalique-Pairs.
And these moves take strength and leverage here. When I asked Marina if it was hard to lift Gwendal, she said no, it's just a matter of balance. Once they find that balance point, it's simply just glide it out.
Plus, he only weighs about 130 pounds.
There's a lot of emotion there, but the music faded out. I like this program, but I just don't love it, and I want to.
What matters, though, is whether the judges like it or not. First set now, and those are a little bit higher than Lobacheva and Averbooks.
And deservedly so. They have a lot more difficulty, and they stay connected a lot more.
So the all-important presentation marks now to see whether they can win or not, and there they are, including a perfect 6.0. Surprise, surprise from the French judge. It pays to be the home team. And Asina and Pairs on top. The American champions are next, though, looking to medal here in Paris.
What happens backstage while the world champions are performing? Everybody watches, all the top competitors looking for flaws, ideas, maybe even a little hope. The only team that wasn't glued to the set was Naomi Lang and Peter Chernyshев, focusing on their performance, which is on the ice right now. So let's go back to Terry Gannon and Susie Wynn.
All right, thank you, Andrea. The two-time and reigning U.S. champions, Naomi Lang and Peter Chernyshев. And a critical competition for them. They're in fourth place with a chance, perhaps, to edge out Winkler and Losa of Germany for that third spot on the podium.
Terry, it's very difficult to skate after Anasina and Pairs. I'm having a flashback. The last time I skated after a world champion with the Duchesnay here in this
France?
in this
Oh, my
ring.
gosh.
Very scary.
How'd you do?
Not bad. Music is Air on G-string by Bach and Storm by Vanessa May. She's the wind and he's the storm. Every lift they do in this program, it's flawless. Their spins go in, speed here. The dance spin only has to turn 3 times. And now the storm. Trip there. Good recovery. unison, very tight connections.
Naomi Lang, only 21 years old, originally from Michigan. Peter Chernyshев, 29, from St. Petersburg. In fact, his grandfather won 4 Soviet skating titles back in the 30s. And they are now coached by Sasha Zulin, the 93 world champion. Do you see his influence starting to take over?
He and his partner Maya Usova had a very free expression about them, but with great ballet background and training, and you can see that also with Naomi and Peter. This is a beautiful piece. It's only the second time they've competed this year. This is only going to get better and better. Small stumble, but very difficult. They're both such fine skaters. And it's not just because I'm American.
Now, he is really recognized. You talk to ice dance people as one of the best out there anyway.
He really is. He's such a fine skater, but all credit to Naomi, too. She's really, she's caught up to him.
And only 21 years of age, Naomi Lang. And there's a general feeling, too, that they have not been given their due yet in ice dance. We'll see if it happens here. A chance to stand on the podium in Paris.
They just have extraordinary lifting ability. Look at her leg line, so beautifully stretched here. When she is lifted, she looks so light on the way up and on the way down. His feet are so secure and clean as he turns her. Not easy to do, but they make it so easy. And here you could see that they were really just trying to push through. They might have gotten a little bit ahead of themselves here. Naomi got her weight forward on her skate, but really recovered quite nicely.
All right, let's see now as we check the marks. You look at Alexander Zulin all the way on the right side of your screen. Now their coach, first set, 5.1 up to 5.6.
I think that those are a little low. A brief stumble is a 1/10 deduction only.
Second set now, 5.5 up to 5.8. Those are not good enough.
And that's unfortunate. I wish they had just skated perfectly, and then we could really see if they could have taken the Germans.
To tell how disappointed they are right now, but she is able to get a smile on her face. Naomi Lang, Peter Chernyshев in 4th place. That's where they end up. So it's Anasina and Pezera winning the gold, coming back after being in second after the original dance. Lovacheva and Averbuch finished second. Winkler and Losa of Germany end up with the bronze medal. And right now, let's go over and join Peter Carruthers, who is with the champions. Peter?
Okay, Terry, congratulations, Marina and Gwendal. How difficult was it to come into the free dance in second place?
You know, this competition, it was a little bit difficult for us because it was in France. Like, we want to do the best, and we work very hard after Skate Canada, and we did big progress. And yesterday we didn't skate like we want, so it was difficult today. But we're happy because we did very well our job, and our public helped us so much.
Do you consider this a make-up for the stumble in the original dance when you had some trouble there?
Yeah, it was maybe a lack of focus yesterday, so we definitely didn't want to do the same today, and we were really on it, and we lived every moment of the program, and we really enjoyed it.
Is the program where you want it to be, or do you need to develop this further to be strong?
Of course, we'll develop it still. Like, there is still a lot of work to do until the World Championship, and we really want to get back to work and do it even better so that there would be no discussion, no problem.
Well, maybe if you do that, you'll get more 6.0s.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you too.
I need to calm myself down after skating before the French couple.
Naomi Lang backstage just a moment ago.
A little too anxious, I think. But I'm done. It's okay now.
Overall, not bad. Learn by mistakes.
And if you learn by those mistakes, someday you just might rise as high as the French. Gold medalists tonight at Trophee Lalique. We'll see an encore performance when we return to Paris. After the medals, it's time to show off. The judges go home and the skaters throw a party. Here are the pairs gold medalists, Yelena Berezhnaya and Anton Sigaralitsa, just for the fun of it. Medalists in ice dancing. One final look tonight at Marina Anasina and Lalique-Pairs. And Susie Wynn and Peter Carruthers, I'm Andrea Joyce. We'll see you next week from Japan, the NHK Trophy, our final event of the Grand Prix season here on Lifetime. Good night, everybody.